All right, disclaimer. I do not promote the use of psychedelic mushrooms or any mind-altering compounds. And before you put anything in your body, no matter what it is, consult with your healthcare provider to see if it's right for you, even if it's a vegetable or a fruit. And also, make sure that anything you're doing, you're complying with your legal authorities and regulations. Don't break the law. Now that this disclaimer is over, the video may begin. Yo, what up, guys? Hope y'all are doing well. In today's video, we're going to talk about the time that I showed up to work high on mushrooms and there was a riot going on at work. So, yeah, let's talk about it. It was crazy. I literally showed up to work and the people were trying to revolt against the owner of the company. So let's dig into it. So basically, guys, one day I decided to take mushrooms before work. I'm not sure why I decided to take them. Maybe I just wanted to see what would happen. Maybe I wanted to get through the workday a bit easier. Maybe I just wanted to enjoy myself. I worked at a composting company at that time. So we were outside a lot during work, and it was very beautiful, the area we worked at, and we had like these massive composting bins outside, and we had all these buckets that we would wash, and we would do all these different things to take care of, you know, the composting area, because we would sell compost buckets to people, and we would deliver compost to people's houses and pick it up for them and compost it into soil, so that way people had a way to get rid of their food in a healthy way that creates, you know, soil and stuff like that. So the people would put their food in the buckets, we would pick it up from their houses, bring it back to our area, and we would make compost. That was the type of work that I was doing at that time. And at first, everything was going smooth for a while. Like, he was paying me in cash and everything. The boss, the owner of the company, it was mad chill. He was paying me in cash on time. So I wasn't really expecting anything crazy to happen. But that one day that I took mushrooms and I show up to work, something crazy was indeed happening. So I take mushrooms one day before work and I'm driving to work. And when I show up to work, all of a sudden, there is a whole riot of people just sitting outside in the work area. Usually there's not that many people at work. Usually when I would show up to this job, there would maybe be like 3 or 4 other people, maybe 10, maybe just me. And I would just ask the boss what he wanted me to do. Sometimes it was just me showing up. This was very unusual. This time there was a lot of people that showed up that day. And I wasn't expecting to see that many people when I got there. But something very strange was going on, because when I got to work, I noticed that this giant group of people that were there, which is just, you know, the people that work there, I noticed that they were talking very loud and they sounded very distressed. So I start talking with them, and the boss's girlfriend who works there, the owner of the company, actually ended up, I think, getting with one of the girls that worked for him, or maybe even multiple of the girls that worked for him. I'm not sure. But he definitely got with one of them because she was his girlfriend and everything. His own girlfriend was like the leader of the riot. She was like yelling at me saying like, "Hey, do you want to help us revolt against Adam," the owner of the company? I'm not going to say his last name because 1, I don't know it, and 2, I don't want to ruin his reputation. But she's like, "Hey, do you want to help us revolt against him?" And I was just like, I'm not so sure if I want to do that, because I was on mushrooms and I was just like, I don't know, that sounds like a lot of work. She's like, "Do you want to revolt against him? He's not paying us on time." And like everyone was distressed. There was a whole group of people and complaining and yelling, and they're like, "Yeah, let's get him." Like it was like 30 people or something crazy like that. I forgot. I don't know the exact number of people, but it was a whole ass riot. It was a whole ass riot. And yeah, it was wild. She's like, "Yeah, do you want to help us like stand up against him? Do you want to help us go after him? Like he's not paying us on time." And he owed my friend over $10,000 at one point. So he really wasn't paying people on time, and I didn't know that because when I first started working for him, it's like he was trying to put a good impression in, maybe to like suck people in or something like that. Because yeah, when I first started working for him, he paid me on time with cash and everything. So I don't know if he was just trying to start a good impression, that way he could suck us in or what, but I guess they were working for him for longer than I was, so they started to catch on to what was going on. I didn't catch on until later. Eventually he started getting weird with me too, and I ended up quitting. That was like a while after the riot. But the day of the riot, I didn't do nothing, man. I just saw what was going on. I'm like, this is crazy, man. And I just drove home. I was trying to enjoy my mushroom trip. I wasn't trying to riot against someone. I just drove home. And then I think I kept showing up to work for a while after that. But ever since that day, I was sketched out. Because if everyone is complaining about the job, that's not a good sign. And then eventually my suspicions were proven true. He started to get a bit weird with me too, with the money thing, and I just quit. I don't have time for that. If you're not gonna pay me correctly on time, I'm done. But the thing is, I don't hold resentment against him, even though he wasn't able to pay me on time and at a certain point, or he just didn't pay the right amount, or it was just weird. Something weird happened. I don't remember exactly what happened. I think he was just acting weird at a certain point. He was complaining that I didn't work enough or that I took too many breaks. I'm like, dude, I'm a human being. Like, I'm not your slave. Like, yeah, I'm working for you, but you don't have the right to nitpick every little thing I'm doing. Like, just because I needed to catch my breath for a second didn't mean I wasn't working. You know what I mean? I work hard. That's why I had to catch my breath for that second, type vibe. But he was getting weird, and I think it's a certain point, I don't remember if he was paying me on time or not. I think something with the payment got weird with me too, just like those people were complaining about. So I ended up quitting. I didn't show up at a certain point, but that was a while after the riot. But my friend, he owed my friend $10,000 at one point, so he really wasn't paying people the way he was supposed to. And yeah, his business ended up failing, and I really don't blame him because it was a composting business and he was trying to do something good for the environment. But with the economy these days, not every business succeeds, and 90% of businesses fail, I think, or something crazy like that. So I don't blame him. The state of the world, not everyone's trying to buy compost. A lot of people are just trying to make sure they have enough food in their fridge because of today's economy. So he was trying to do good for the world, but it's almost like the world wasn't ready for it yet. He just wasn't profiting enough, whatever. People weren't paying him enough. Maybe he wasn't charging people enough. I don't know what it was. And I understand it's hard to run a business, but so it was nothing personal. When I quit, I had to go for my own good. It's not like I hold anything against him. It's not like I hate the guy. But it was just a crazy story that I wanted to share with you guys. I show up to work on mushrooms and there's a riot going on. I just thought it was a funny, crazy story. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Story time for the day. The moral of the story is there really is no moral. He was trying to do good for the world and he just couldn't profit. And unfortunately, that happens sometimes. So, the moral of the story is wild stuff happens sometimes. And sometimes life can be unpredictable. But really, there is no moral to the story. I just wanted to share a funny story with you guys. So, comment below what you guys think. Subscribe for more. I like to post about health and fitness. And I like to post random funny stuff like this as well. So, if you enjoyed the video, please rate, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys. And until next one, I'm out. Love and peace.